Hello everybody, and today I'm going to be making a miniature gingerbread bakery using this like house shelf thing. I don't actually know what it's called, but I've seen them. I've had this one years and years, never got around to using it, but I have seen them in various sort of styles and in different craft shops. So hopefully you could find something similar if you wanted to give this a go. This has been painted a couple of times, as you can see here. If I get into the camera, you can see there's like a dark pink just visible around the top edges. I did paint the back of these in this dark pink and decided I didn't like it, so I sprayed painted over it. But I actually like the effect of some of that pink showing through, so I left it because I thought it added depth and a bit of sort of vintage-esque feel. Not that I know what I'm talking about. And I didn't bother with the bottom because you're not going to see that when it's stood up like that. So I'm basically going to fill this little shelf with lots of fun, cute, Christmassy gingerbread things to make it a pretty decoration. So we're very much going kind of cute pink Candyland, because that's my style. You could of course do this in any colour scheme that suited your taste. So this could be a bit rambling and a bit random because I don't know yet what I'm doing. I just have a lot of stuff out. See if I can move you without it going crazy. A lot of random stuff out on my table, and we'll see how we get on and what I decide I want to use as we go. So to begin with, I was having a look at what I wanted in the backgrounds, and I have some of these gingerbread stickers, which again I've got off the internet somewhere. I've seen them around a lot, and I thought these might make sort of nice backdrops, but I haven't stuck anything down yet because I want to have a little play and not commit myself just yet. Now I've got a couple of my little gingerbread people. There is a separate tutorial for these on my channel if you want to make some of these yourself. They are made as everything else that I'm modelling today. It's all made with air dry foam clay, which is pretty cheap and easy to use. So I'm just kind of going to play around, which is quite difficult because I don't want to tilt it. I might have to tilt it a bit more. There's my coffee mug. Luckily it's empty. Now the stickers are not going to stay here properly, but I just want to get an idea of placing some of my main pieces, and then I have lots and lots of little bits that could go in. I also have as an option these peg people that could be painted. They would make cute little elves. I'm not sure I'm going to be doing that today just because of time. I also have some doors I've made, again air dry foam clay with a mould. They're actually fairy doors, and I did and ah about adding a door. I'm not convinced yet, but actually when the other bits are in, it's quite cute. We'll see. There it goes. See, I've not planned this very well, have I? Because it's going to be sliding everywhere. So I've got lots of Christmassy bits. Let me, I'm saying a lot too, do some assembly with you before we go any further with this. I have made a little hot chocolate pot. I've got some miniature, I think they're 1/12 scale, plates, bowls, spoons. And I thought I'll make a hot chocolate pot, which has just got puff paint around the edge, which is wet, which is why I'm trying to be a bit careful with that at the moment. I've used my foam clay and some miniature cutters to cut out these little gingerbread biscuits that I'm going to stick on this tray. And that'll probably be positioned, you know, at that sort of, you can't see that, at this angle, so you can see them all rather than, you know, sideways, you wouldn't be able to see. I've got a bowl that I'm going to put some gingerbread dough into. I have a little bit of my foam clay here pre-mixed. That is a blend of a brown and a white just to get the gingerbread colour that I wanted. I've got cups of coffee, I've got some pink utensils, a Christmas tree, etc, etc. So what I think I'm going to do is I'm going to glue on these main parts, and I'll just be using an all-purpose glue to do that with, and then I can come back and add in smaller embellishments without everything rolling around everywhere. So while the glue is drying on my gingerbread people, I'm going to do a few little bits and bobs. I'm just warming up a piece of my foam clay, and we're going to do some gingerbread dough in the bowl. And I always do it with some kind of spilling out the side. I may also, maybe I'll use one of these. I'd like to maybe put some on a little spoon, see how what I think about that. But I may use a silver spoon for that. Again, this is a really simple little thing to do. All I'm going to do, I'm trying to decide if I want to do the spoon. I'll do the spoon first. Sorry about that, I had to pause. My husband came in from the office in the garden. He's got a nasty cough and I could hear him coming into the house, so I just stopped the video. You don't want to hear him cough and splutter. I've just put a little bit of the glue on the spoon, and I've just got a little ball of the gingerbread dough. So I'm going to place it on the bottom end of that and sort of squeeze it down. How much dough you want is completely up to you. I want mine kind of spilling over the spoon. Like that. Hopefully it's not too small for you to see. And then to make the bowl, I'm just going to add a blob of my glue into the bottom there for security. And it's a bit of a work again because it's gone a bit dry while it was waiting. I'm going to roll it into a ball, but then sort of pull out a bit of a section that's going to go over the edge of the bowl. So we'll push that into the bowl. Don't worry about sort of marking it because it's a gingerbread dough, it's not going to be smooth. And then just mould that until you're happy with it to create the drip over the bowl. If you want to, you could also stick a spoon into the top of that, but I think I'm just going to have my spoon like next to it, like that. And then I can glue these little biscuits that I've pre-made just with tiny clay cutters. Oh, my glue is dripping everywhere. So I'm just going to glue those onto the tray because they need to dry. If they don't stick to me. actually think I'm going to move those around a bit, like that. And then we can see what else we might want to do. You might have noticed, I don't know if you did, I stuck a little tree in here. I quite like that there. I'm hoping that these people are stuck well enough. Yeah, they're not going to roll around now, which makes everything a little bit easier. So my thinking at the moment is that I will have kind of hot chocolate mugs and things up here, and then my kind of gingerbread making bit down here. I haven't figured out these two, and I haven't figured out the top yet. So my hope is that when I start building stuff in here, that it will become more apparent what I do want to do. I'll have to wait and see. I wonder if I put that down there. I don't know if that'll... No, that's not going to stop it moving. I've got these little... I don't know if they're supposed to be probably lattes rather than hot chocolates, but I don't think you're going to notice. I might even add some of the chocolate drip on the outside. Now my hot chocolate pot is not dry yet, but I'm hoping I can still pop it in. I might have to stand it like this for now. Try and move the camera down. Ha. Tell you what, I'll just move this now, it's easier. And then I can add in, before I start gluing, let me have a little play. See, these coffee cups are large compared to this little pot, but they're just going to have to be like jumbo mugs because it's what I've got. I didn't know if I was going to get more than one in, but I don't think I am. I don't want it to look too overcrowded, too busy. I want it to sort of... I want you to be able to see the background, especially because they've got the pretty stickers up there. So I'm going to have to very carefully glue the bottom of this jug. I would always recommend that you wait for the the paint to dry, but I'm in a hurry. It will take a few hours and I need to crack on with this, as my mother would say. If my children start to tell me, "You sound so old," because I'm using all the terminology my parents used when I grew up. If I want it further forward, further back, to the side. Oh, don't know if I pop it there. I'm wondering if I've got space. Someone back here. Oh, I can never just leave it be. I wonder if I want to stack, but that looks a bit odd, doesn't it? I mean, I could always probably add another one in down here. Maybe I'll have the two, because that's quite cute. Hopefully you can see well enough. Maybe you need to be up a little bit. And then we can look at adding, where we might want to add our gingerbread dough. Just going to have a little play. You see, I like that. I want to see those little stars in the background, ideally. I might add another drink there. I have some more of these little figures. I don't want to think that tray's too big to try and fit. I mean, maybe. Let me have a look. If I move that there. I don't want things sticking out too far. But I don't mind things coming out a bit. Oh, that's quite sweet. Maybe we don't need the drink in there. I hope you're not getting too bored watching me do all this faffing around. I do like the drink in there. No, it needs to be in that back corner. Just see if I move. Maybe something like that. There are no right or wrong, obviously. It's just that it's what you like. I'm going to glue those down because I've been faffing around with these little bits for quite a long time. And I'll be back shortly. That's all now stuck down, and I've added a slightly bigger gingerbread biscuit just up here with the hot chocolate pot. And now I'm just going to do something with this door. I'm still not sure if I'm going to use it or not, but I'm going to decorate it and see in a bit. I've just painted the inside of this door with some antique white because it takes off the kind of, you may struggle to see in this lighting, but it isn't as bright white anymore. It's a creamy white, just to make it look like maybe cookie dough or something like that, in keeping with the bakery theme. I'm going to, because I stretched this heart when I was pulling it out of the mould, and I don't like how that looks, I'm going to cover that. And I've got this little gingerbread resin piece, and I've just used a Posca pen to go over the bow tie because that was red, as you can see if I tip it. But from the front now, it looks pink. I'm happy enough with that. So what I've got over here is some piping glue, piping cream. It's known by lots of names, but that's the best one I've, the best description I've got. Having just pulled this out, I'm not actually sure if this is going to be viable because it looks very hard on that end. I do my best when I've partially used them to store them, and I wrap the tips with a baby wipe. But as you can see, I've pulled the baby wipe off and it's dry. Oh, sorry, that's not that. Let me just see. I'm just hoping I might be able to. Yeah, I'm going to pop the tip into, because these come in double bags, the outer bag hasn't been used. And I'm just going to kind of squeeze the rest of the, I'm going to cut this other end. I'll be back in a minute when I've sorted out my piping glue. Right, so I cut the bottom of my old piping bag, if you're interested, because it's glued, it's dried down this end. This end was sealed and all still usable, so I squeezed all that out into my other bag so that I can just get enough here to pipe onto my door. I'll probably be going over the hinges afterwards as well. I've put my little gingerbread, he's there. You just pipe this like you would with icing. I'm going to make a nice swell to hide the heart. And then pop my gingerbread on top, if I can see what I'm doing through the camera. Let's push him down as if he is iced. Like that. That will take at least 4 hours for that glue to fully harden. But it doesn't mean I can't add it on if I want to, although I could wait. I know I've got to decide if I want to add some white. I was thinking about using my puff paint as snow / icing, either around the top of my house roof or maybe even around here. But that is sort of what it would look like on the house. Part of me likes it and part of me's not sure. I'm going to need to find at least something for in this corner. A few more bits and bobs here. So I will have a little think and see if there's anything else I have to add on and come back and tell you. Here I have a mini bauble left over from adding baubles to my twig tree. And I've just decided that it's a cute thing to pop next to the gingerbread person where there's a gap. To bring in a little more of the kind of, I think we'll have that way, festive feeling. Just like that, quite cute. I do have some that are also glittery, which I absolutely love. I am wondering about maybe up here. I don't know, because I have a bit of foliage I had left over from making Christmas lanterns, which is another video on my channel if you're interested, and I think I'm going to use those up here on the top. So having been interrupted again, I am back with a nice fresh coffee, and I have cut up little pieces of the foliage off the main branch and pulled off some of the baubles and sort of had a play about like that. That isn't glued down yet, but I am pretty happy with that. Obviously I want to be able to see the sticker. It's almost like the view through the window. And I think if I can find some, I may add a pom-pom trim around the edge. I'm still not decided about down here. And I'm conscious this video is running on quite a long time, so I will glue those in. I will see what else I've got, and I will try and make a decision about the door or something else. While all the bits in my house are drying, I am going to glitter the roof sections. So here I'm just painting Mod Podge onto the roof. This is matte Mod Podge, but it really doesn't matter what you use, because obviously it's going to be glittered. I'm just going to paint a nice generous coat onto there, and then I have my iridescent white, and I'm just going to sprinkle that all over before I do anything else on the front of the house, and tip it off, and then repeat that on the other side. Now the roof has been glittered, and everything I've stuck in is dry enough that I can lay this down. We can work on a few more bits. As you see, I found a second small pink Christmas tree, and I just thought that filled up that space more effectively. I am going to use the door, but I do need to decide. I had a thought, and it's gone right now, of what I was going to do to fill up these little corners so there isn't this sort of strange gap there. I do also have, she says as I've just broken one, some little toadstools made from air dry clay, which I may add somewhere around the bottom. I don't know if they're going to look strange or not. Don't know. I'll need to fix that one. They're a bit fragile, so they may not be the best idea. It might be better on the door maybe. But there's some other little embellishments I was going to look at before I had the door. Over here, oops. The camera is very close to the table to give you the best view, but it means it's really easy to knock. I have some of these little clay swirls, because I just, when I was looking at it, I wondered if this was a bit sparse around here. Okay, because there's a lot of sort of empty space, if you like, around that gingerbread. I don't know. Or it might be one of those cases of I wait and see at the end, because I might be happy with it. I also have some pale pink mini pom-pom trims for the top edge up there. So let's add some bits on, and then hopefully I'll be able to make some decisions about what I do and don't like afterwards. This may need holding down for a few minutes. And it may be, I think I cut it a bit long, I hope I cut it a bit long, that I can trim that at the end, especially any kind of scraggly bits on the ends. No, I didn't actually think that through at all, did I? Because I was like, oh, I'll just bend it round. But I'm not sure that's going to work. It's a little bit tight at the top, but I think it'll just about cope. I don't want too much glue. I'm going to fiddle that around until I'm happy with it. So it's a nice thing about using an all-purpose glue rather than a hot glue. I think it holds better than lots of hot glues, unless you're perhaps using a Gorilla Glue. But it also gives you some working time. There we go. So obviously that will need to dry before I can trim off those edges, but you get the idea. And I think it looks really sweet. I still can't remember what I was going to do to fill in the edges. I think if we get the door on, I can then have a bit of an experiment bearing in mind the pink piping is still wet. I think what I'm going to do is add my glue directly onto the house, because obviously I don't quite know exactly where it's going to hit the door until I position it on. This way there'll be glue somewhere in the right places. I need to try and not look through the camera because the camera is not going to give me a straight image. I'm trying to get it central to this. It's that large brick in the middle to line up there. And probably pull it down a bit so that it's at the base of the house. And then, I'm not quite sure. I did wonder about a bit of foliage around the top. Yeah, that might look quite cute. We've got some glue on that. You can always add some extra bits on afterwards if it looks a bit strange on its own. Let's not push that down. I am going to have to hold this for a minute to get that glue until the glue goes tacky. So I'll be back when that has stuck. So the fur on the top of the door is dry. I've added a little toadstool here and a little gingerbread star at the top. There are so many other things I could or might add, but I've decided I'm going to leave it as it is for now, and come back to it after living with it for a few days. Also, all the bits of foam clay that are fresh need to dry out. So in a couple of days, when that is done, I will come back and spray it liberally with varnish to protect everything, probably in the garden. And that will help to protect it. But as it stands, this is what I've ended up with. And I'm very happy, and hopefully it's inspired you and given you some ideas of what you might do yourself. If you liked it, if you have any suggestions or questions, please feel free to leave those in the comments and I'll do my best to answer them for you. And I will see you all again soon. Bye.